We finally made it to Iceland.
5 days on the ring road, let's go!
Woo. Good morning. It is day 3 on our Icelandic road trip. We are not where we woke up this morning, but we're having our first coffee of the day. We woke up in Helgasteirir, where there's a great camping ground. It's a bit more of a caravan park vibe than a national park vibe, like our first night. But it was perfect for what we needed and the facilities were really good, but the coffee vibes weren't up to our standards. So we drove it to this town.
This place is called Seydisfjordur, and it's actually a port town where a ferry can take you to or from Norway. We had to drive through an epic mountain to get here. There was actually a ski
slope.
Yeah, slope on the way here, so there was the cable cars running up. On our first night we froze, so we didn't put the heating on early enough in the night, and then they've given us doonas, like blankets, not sleeping bags, individual ones as well, so it's not like the sleeping bags where, you know, you wear less to stay warm. It was absolutely freezing, and my feet went totally numb, for instance, and so we've definitely learnt from that. Get the heating going a little bit before bed. This van has a nice heating system that pumps it under the bed once it's made, which is good.
And the sleeping with the sunlight hasn't actually been as bad as I thought it would be.
We're here in the first kind of week, well now the second week of May. Although the sun technically sets, it doesn't really get dark.
Dusky.
This morning I got up at 4 o'clock to put the heating on in the van, and it was already incredibly bright, so
it's quite disconcerting.
In a month's time there's going to be no darkness here at all. Definitely make sure you bring a good quality eye mask, because it is very light, and the curtains in the vans can only do so much. Right, Seydisfjordur. I would say if you are in this region of Iceland, to go see it.
It's half an hour from where we camped.
Icelandic or something.
Eagles. Anyway, it's 30 minutes from there, so very easy detour, beautiful drive through the mountains.
Yeah, but I would say get there somewhat early, because we got here at 7:30 or something in the morning. It's now 9:15 and it's already starting to get busy in spots. Where we parked it wasn't that busy, but when we left we could see there were lots of crowds to come and see a few of the sights. It is a very pretty town. Sheep, lambs!
Brown lambs.
Yeah, this one's out of the fence. Yeah. Also on the way in we drove past a waterfall, which we're about to stop at again. This is just one of the joys of, you know, driving around Iceland or with the van, is that there are sights all the way, like we said yesterday.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, because there are no trees here, really, like in comparison to most places, you can basically see every waterfall, whereas obviously driving around Oz, there are like waterfalls everywhere in the kind of Blue Mountains, after Tablelands, all of that, but you can't see them because it's all hidden by rainforest and forests and that type of thing.
To give you an idea of what we mean, we're just going to turn the camera and you'll see. Right there's a waterfall.
Hell yeah. pro tip, for servo coffee is not actually that bad, especially if you want oat milk coffee and you've got a van with a fridge, then you can just kind of make it yourself.
Yeah, we made the mistake yesterday of stopping at a little cafe for a coffee, and it ended up costing £9.50 for 2 Americanos. So the servo coffee we got, or the petrol station coffee for people who don't know what servo is, was £1.20 for 2 coffees, so much more cost effective.
So we've just set off on the Hengifoss Waterfall hike. I think it's about 45 minutes out, 45 minutes back. It says 45 minutes to 60 minutes each way, but yeah, looking forward to it. And the views are stunning behind us. And it's our first proper hike of the trip. So excited.
Let's do it.
Woo.
We're about halfway up now, and I don't know if you can see behind us, but it's similar columns to the place we went to yesterday.
Dudley.
Yeah, but it's more of those columns which, from here, they look a lot better than where we went yesterday. Yeah. And there's waterfalls the whole way down. It is a pretty steep gradient on the way up, but nothing that is too difficult.
Yeah, we're about 20 minutes in.
Wow.
Wow. That's insane. I don't know if we can capture it yet, we'll just get closer, but
That's our first look at it.
That's our first proper look, and we can see the cool thing about this is the layers of rock, which is great.
So we've made it to Hengifoss, and as you can see, there's a bunch of red striping through the rocks, and so basically the water here in the past has been so strong and wide that it's carved this out of the stone, and it's revealed what they call strata, which is these red layers in the earth. and so 45 minutes to get up here, totally worth it. By far the coolest thing we've seen thus far. If you think this is cool, give this video a like.
That was so epic. Like, I reckon this is one of the best sights we've seen so far, which I'm surprised about. I thought we couldn't really beat the last few days, and it just keeps getting better.
This is just what Iceland keeps doing. It just keeps on getting better and better, and every time we go somewhere our expectations are blown away. Can't wait to see what the rest of Iceland has in store for us as we finally tackle the south.
Yeah, so we've made it all the way from Reykjavik up to the north, across from east to west on the ring road, and now we're headed south, which is maybe the more busy part. So we're anticipating it might be getting a bit more busy, but there's a reason it's busy, because there are some epic spots along the way. Woo! I'll get fresher than this.
Wow. Straight from Hengifoss.
Best thing about this hike is, like, the hike down I reckon is almost as good, because look at that. So on the way up, we went up the west side of the canyon, which was definitely like a shorter distance, but steeper. And this way on the east side has more switchbacks, so it's a bit longer, but a bit more gradual, which is nice for going downhill. So if you've got dodgy knees like us, recommend doing it that way. If you've been watching our videos since the start, egg wraps is our staple lunch when we're in the van.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Can't beat it. Just red onion, tomato, avocado, egg, spicy mayo. Can't beat it. So that concludes the first part of our ring road. We've done about half of it.
The north half.
Yeah, we did the Snaefellsness Peninsula, which isn't on the ring road, and then headed north and went west to east.
Yep.
And now we're headed south. It's like the first 2.5 days have been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, what was your favourite so far?
I loved Hengifoss, which we just did. That was the coolest, I think, sight that we've seen. All of the driving's been epic, and the campsite on the first night.
Yeah, I think for me the campsite on the first night was definitely up there with the best.
Yeah.
That was very cool, and there's the overall scenery. I think just the constant wow and this is unreal. I think that's kind of the highlight. There's not one particular thing. It's all been pretty spectacular.
Yeah. I'm sure it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah.
So
if you have the time, we definitely recommend that you go and do the north of Iceland. I think lots of people stick to the Golden Circle in the south, but this has definitely been worth it and highly recommend it.
100%. And actually, just like seeing the like other towns like
Akure, the second largest city here. That was really cool. And this morning as well, the port town that we went to.
Yeah.
There's so many cool little gems hidden out.
It's basically awesome, all of it.
And there's very few people about at this time of year, so you get to do a lot of it in privacy and just enjoy nature with no one else around.
Yeah, so far we're really glad that we came in May. The only downside that we can see so far of coming in May is that a lot of the campsites are closed. Like the one we're currently down there is a campsite which is open in the summer, but I think they count that from June. So that's the only small downside, but in general I'd rather the less crowds and
a few shops here and there are closed. Like where we just were, Hengifoss, it has this food truck which is quite famous, but it was closed.
Yeah.
But I guess you've got to take what you can't have it all. So we've been here. It's less crowded. The weather's amazing, but the only slight drawback, if you would even call it that, is that some of the campsites are closed.
Yeah. But yeah, we're looking forward to the rest of this trip. This part of the trip, which is coming up, is definitely the most popular, and there is a reason. There are so many sites that we have bookmarked to see over the next few days. I think it's going to be less long drives, more half an hour between each point, and just lots to cram in.
Yeah.
But excited, and I think can't wait to take you along. Thanks for watching. Please
Give it a like and subscribe.
Join us next time as we drive the incredible Seydisfjordur road down to the south of Iceland, visiting many of the amazing spots on the Southern Ring Road all the way towards the Golden Circle.